Hello. Now this is one of the most difficult part when it comes to coming live. You don't come to know whether people are able to listen to you or not, or you are audible or not audible. So Deepak, Jai Hind. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just wave hands. Thanks. Looking awesome, na? Thanks. So here is Sandhu sir.
हेलो।
Hi sir.
अरे क्या हाल है?
All good sir. Can you hear me sir?
गुड, आई कैन हियर यू। स्ट्रेंथ 5।
Send file sir. Yeah sir. मेरे को ऑलरेडी कॉम्प्लीमेंट मिल गए सर. Looking awesome.
गुड गुड, यू नॉट नीड अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट, यू ऑलवेज लुक ऑसम। दैट्स नॉर्मल फॉर यू।
I have to get used to it. No. Thanks, sir.
गुड गुड।
So, it's good. What time it is, sir, there? Bright
इट्स
sunny day?
3:30, 3:30 in
Bright?
the afternoon. It's all right.
It's all right.
Can you see me? Do you need more light?
No, you are perfectly visible. If you want to little bit angle down your cam so that, we can see more
Okay.
of you rather than the wall. Yeah, I
अच्छा,
think so.
okay.
Yeah,
One
that's
moment.
good. And
अभी ठीक है?
हाँ थोड़ा center alignment हो जाएगा तो then you are done, sir.
Okay.
I think so. Good. Yeah, we are good, sir. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, sir.
Good, good.
I think so. We have got what 123 people are getting added. But
Okay.
good. Even here also, sir. यहाँ पे मौसम बढ़िया था. काफी दिनों से बारिश हो रही थी. अभी खुल गया मौसम तो it's become so humid. मैंने कहा चलो ठीक है for a change. It's good.
You're in Mumbai now?
I'm in Mumbai.
Okay, good.
It's just because of this lockdown. Otherwise, I would have made, traveled across to meet you in person. Generally, I come this time of the year, courtesy the company.
Yeah.
Courtesy the company.
Yeah, last year also you were here, na, in October, and sometime in October end.
Yes, it was October.
Yeah.
Before Diwali, I was there again, same time.
Yeah.
There
I missed seeing you then.
Yeah. Hopefully, things will come down now. So, sir, thanks for coming out, first of all. And you are aware that, and I have discussed with you on WhatsApp also about, what I'm doing, and I'm trying to bring and connect, the kids out there and the youngsters out there who are there following Instagram, who are very passionate about Indian Armed Forces and who are die-hard fan of, again, our regiments, Parachute Regiment, Paras, SF and all. Though they don't know much about para SF, and I leave it to them. But what I have done is, because there are many handles in Instagram where I have been deliberately tagging them also whenever I do any story, and where I'm calling some officers, veterans from armed forces, just to tag, expecting that they will also tag this story in their handle. But I have seen that many handles don't do. It's more of a promotion basis. Then I took it on my own shoulders. I will say, I will make sure that I bring officers from my regiment, seniors from my regiment, and introduce them to this world. Especially not the serving ones, because they cannot come, they cannot speak in public. So I'm reaching out to you and others like you and in the regiment. So that was the one
Good
thing.
man, good. Really nice.
And lot many people have appreciated it, and I've done 3 sessions till now. One with Jacob, Albert Lewis, and one with Marcos from Prevent Theotia, who was there in 2611, in the operations and there. So thanks for accepting this. It's just getting your journey part. Lot many kids are there, youngsters are there who are very aspirant and who are looking forward to know about armed forces, who want to know about the journey, how they can come, whether it is join army, whether it is officer rank, whether it is in OR and other ranks, whatever you want to say, how they can motivate. So the main aim is that to give them a glimpse about what motivated you, what was your journey before joining NDA, and then coming to NDA, what you did and how was your life in NDA, what it takes, what are few tips, or I will say what you want to give about SSB, being before, so that it makes little bit alignment when you are going in SSB. Today, by the way, today was the NDA written. and I want to,
All
best
right. Okay.
wishes kids who have given their NDA, and then your journey, and
Good.
then we will talk about para. So, sir, I will stop here. I think so. I've spoken of a lot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so up to you, sir. Just giving a, from telling little bit about your pinned, I will say, you refer it that way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's I'd say we won't restrict it to sir only English, because there are lot many people who are not comfortable with English also, and they are very okay with Hindi and English. तो अब तो अपना जैसा गल्ला करते हैं वैसे ही करेंगे सर.
ठीक है. ठीक है. ठीक है. Yeah, so Nick, firstly, thanks for organizing all this, and it's a really, really nice thing to do. And I wish when we were growing up, when we were in appearing in our exams, and I started off in class 10th when I was not even eligible,
हाँ.
and I was sent back home. कि यार तुम अभी तो eligible भी नहीं हो, तुम यहाँ क्या कर रहे हो ना? And so at that time, had such avenues been there to listen to other people and get some guidance as to what to do, how to do. Maybe in the hindsight, you think that you could have done a little better, huh?
Yes sir.
Or maybe you would not have taken the hardest path, kind of thing, huh? So it's a really nice thing to do. So thanks for organizing all this, and I'm really happy to be part of it and contribute in whatever way I can. So I'll start with the times when we were planning and preparing to join for NDA, and how our passion was, and then what went through our minds, and how did we ended up in joining the Parachute Regiment in the end, and then our service in the Parachute Regiment. And then later on, I'll cover briefly my journey to UK and then joining the British Army Reserve here. No? So I think that urge and the shock to join the army was there from the beginning. I think every kid in India, our nationalism very strong in that way. And
Correct.
army has such a good army, and armed forces have such good reputation. We really sell ourselves really well, and that's why we are the largest volunteer force in the whole world. And so that thing was there from the beginning, that army join karni hai, army or armed forces join karni hai. My initial aim was to become a pilot, and partly because my dad was in the Air Force, but he retired way before I was born, so I didn't see that part of things.
Okay.
But then our village was very close to Ambala Air Base. It was in Rajpura, and we used to see those fighters, planes, and all that. So just as a childish kind of a dream to become a pilot that every child has, something that they want to do, something they want to become. But I didn't really know how to go about doing it. So I just started asking random people here and there. And then we came to know about NDA, National Defense Academy, and all that. So once I came to know about NDA, it was a very, very fixated and focused journey. Now, I think that's where I would like to add that nowadays the kids have many more options. So one should not stay fixated on one particular journey कि मैंने तो यही काम करना है, because sometimes things don't work out, and what if it doesn't work out? So you should at least have a plan B ready. When I look back, I feel little terrified to see that I had no plan B. Maybe engineering, मेरा engineering college में admission हो गया था. I would have ended up doing production engineering, town planning, or something like that. And but I was something inside me told that okay, you will get through NDA, because in my first attempt I cleared the written, but I failed in my interview. And then we disappointed, demoralized कि अब पता नहीं क्या होगा and all that. So I tried for engineering. My parents, teachers, they said कि तू एक ही एग्जाम को दे जा रहा बार-बार, तो और भी कुछ ट्राई कर, है ना, engineering का फॉर्म तो भर कम से कम, kind of thing. And उनको I listened to them, filled up some forms, gave some exams, उनमें तो कहीं नंबर आया, because तैयारी तो कुछ की नहीं थी. And luckily on my dad's defense quota I got some seat somewhere, but I decided, because I think that was the last seat in that particular quota I was getting, and I decided to not go for it, because I thought I'm going to go for NDA only. Just as I said, I was fixated on this. And वो करने के बाद, now when I look back to it, कि अगर मैंने उसकी जगह IAS की तैयारी करके अटेम्प्ट किया होता, IPS की तैयारी करके अटेम्प्ट किया होता, है ना, maybe I would have got through that also, है ना, and civil services की तैयारी किया होता. And so many options are there. Armed forces is not just one way of serving your country. There are so many other ways as well. So firstly, the only advice I will give to youngsters is कि have all the avenues open. You are capable.
Okay.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You're very, very capable. Just give it a shot. Don't think that you come from a small town, कि तुम्हें अंग्रेजी नहीं बोलनी आती, या फिर you have stage fear, or you're not good at public speaking and all those. So those things can be overcome. Those are only those little, minor problems. But just give it a go to every exam that you think you can. So anyway, I didn't do that. I only gave ND ka exam.
अरे
Second time फिर clear हो गया written, and second time the interview was also same place, same interview, same. Even some of my friends who had appeared for the first interview, they came back, and even some questions that were asked me during the first time, the
okay
same questions were asked me the second time. So second time I was better prepared.
okay
So in terms of preparing for your written and preparing for your SSB is concerned, I think SSB की तैयारी तो आजकल there are, I think now of course the syllabus has changed. It's not the same as we did. We
correct
did, I think, if I remember correctly, we had, since I appeared for Air Force, so I had to do one general ability का test and then one physics and maths का अलग से एग्जाम था ना, तो दो एग्जाम थे. And people who are appearing only for army, उनके लिए एक ही एग्जाम था जनरल एबिलिटी का. That included everything, science, history, international relations, and all that, है ना. So उसके लिए there are a lot of textbooks available, a lot of coaching classes available and all that. So I never attended any coaching classes, बस वो textbooks रट ली थी शुरू से लेकर end तक ना. All trial question papers, जो पुराने question papers भी मिलते हैं, kind of in people, you can find them in the market. Get hold of those question papers and solve them from cover to cover. Book के शुरू में शुरू हो और book के end पे खत्म हो, and solve all those questions. Go through all of them, and that's the only way for preparing for this thing. And if you really lack confidence, ठीक है, coaching classes ले लो, but I think it's more of a
yeah, lot many people ask me कि सर आर्मी के सीडीएस की तैयारी के बारे में बताइए हमको सर, क्या करना चाहिए सर सीडीएस. and I want to bring this point again what you said कि हमने सीडीएस, I'm to be true to heart sir, I cannot misguide people. What I say, look, I did is 20 years back, you did is 22 years 23 years back. Coming and asking कि सर सीडीएस की तैयारी करेंगे, we are obsolete. हमारी information or knowledge is not what it's now. So what I advise kids and whoever approaches me is go to army site, Indian Army site, go to website, Google is there, net is there, so many platforms where you can know about eligibility, where you can know about educational qualification, where you can know what are the subjects which are coming, and even you can go and pick up a call and ask these coaching centers. They are more than happy to guide you, rather than being fixated that you want to listen to from me, which I am saying that I will not be the right person. Some may feel offended. Lot many people feel offended that sir, आप तो गूगल को डायरेक्ट कर रहे हो, I can also go there. It's not about directing Google. It's just giving a brotherly advice that I would have done the same thing. मेरी information पुरानी हो चुकी है. So I think you are right, sir. And that's also is that keep being passionate about. And how was the feeling? Clear करके एकदम, it was but who was your inspiration? Any particular inspiration? You are in Rajpura, you were seeing aircraft, you wanted to, but any army personality, any such leaders, Field Marshal Manik Shaw or someone, or have you heard something about before joining, or it was just plain कि NDA जाना है?
No, it was I think pure passion, and I think the only thing that inspired me most was TV पे दो दिन प्रोग्राम आते थे. एक दूरदर्शन पे फौजियों के लिए आता था एक प्रोग्राम, उसमें you could see those, although we could not understand what they were saying, but वो tanks चलते, that looked very glamorous. And then there was this series called Paramveer Chakra. That played in Hana, so that really touched the emotions of us as kids.
Yes,
so that was that made, and plus coming from a small town, one was always ambitious. Once you go out and you see those clued up, well educated. We couldn't even speak proper English now, although we were studying in English medium schools. But our friend circle back home and baki yaar dost sab Hindi Punjabi mein baat karte the. So English was not very good. And but there's passion was there to prove yourself. And you always not scared of hardships, because life was hard anyway. So you would say कि अब इससे खराब इससे hard क्या हो सकता है, so those things sort of gave you little encouragement.
Try करके देखते हैं. Yeah, and when you joined NDA, so NDA must be a surprise for you again, because no information before, no knowledge before. And which squad you were, I don't know. I am clueless about NDA, but I have heard that the camaraderie, the sixth term, first term, sixth term relation, second term, third term relation, it's I'll say something beyond imagination if you have not gone through. So a quick glimpse about that, sir.
Yeah, that's true. Give me a minute. I'll come back to it. I want to go back to SSB, where I want to tell what helped me the most in preparing for my SSB. So when I appeared in the written exam, तो luckily मेरा written exam तो first time clear हो गया था, there was nothing to learn, so I was very confident about it कि second time भी clear हो जाएगा. And but the SSB, when I went for my first SSB, I failed, and that failure helped me a lot.
Okay.
So उसमें से I learned कि where did I perform badly, and I prepared well the next time. So next time, as I said, my luck, as you know, the fortune favors the brave or something, as you can say. Even the questions that came, I had already, those were the same questions they were asked to me in the first SSB. So I was very well prepared for that. So the first failure helped me a lot. So all those people who don't know कि written की तैयारी कैसे करनी है, SSB की तैयारी करनी है, you have 3 to 4 attempts. So go, पहला attempt तो दे ही दो, तैयारी है कि नहीं है, go and appear for it. है ना? If you pass your written exam very well, go for SSB.
Okay.
Go and fail. Go with the mindset कि मैं तो fail होके आना है. Don't worry about it. But give it your best. Don't be lazy. है ना? Give it your best shot. But fail हो गए, so that take it as a learning point कि अब मैं next time जो है, अब मेरे को सब पता चल गया कि क्या क्या टेस्ट होना है, कैसे कैसे तैयारी करनी है. Now I can prepare. उसके now there can't be any better coaching than that. It's
Correct.
only that fear of unknown.
Yeah.
वहां जाके पता नहीं क्या होगा, क्या पूछेंगे, कैसे होगा, क्या फॉर्मेट होगा, है ना, क्या सिलेबस होगा एंड ऑल दैट, क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा, हाउ विल दे टॉक टू अस, हाउ शुड आई टॉक बैक एंड ऑल. So once that fear is conquered, then you can always, go out and really fight it nicely. So don't be scared of failures. Just go and attempt. पहला attempt fail हो गया, दूसरा attempt fail हो गया, तीसरा attempt हो गया, keep going for it. And if actually you don't clear an SSB, maybe it means that you are not made for the Forge, because Forge, you would agree, it's a way of life. Right? Some people enjoy it and some people don't enjoy it. So it should happen that you तुम किसी तरह चोरी चिकारी करके फौज में घुस गए, and then 20 years long career जो है तुम्हारा, you're just suffering because you're not made for it. It's a different lifestyle. So maybe if you don't make it through SSB, maybe you're made for something else and you'll do well. Like there are a lot of film stars who tried for SSB, Amitabh Bachchan, all those who didn't make it, and now they did well in their other careers. So
Correct.
That's the attitude that one has to have towards SSB and all that. Coming to NDA, again, unknown journey, absolutely. But then we had this habit of diving into the deep end and then learning to swim. कुछ नहीं पता था फौज के बारे में. Absolutely no idea कि आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स, बस इतना था कि पायलट बनना है. बस पायलट बनना है मुझे, तो एनडीए में गए तो वहां तो कुछ था ही नहीं. रिमेंबर दैट देयर वाज शुरू में एक आता था मिल्खा सिंह करके टीवी सीरियल आता था, नॉट द मूवी बट सीरियल आता था ऑन मिल्खा सिंह.
Okay.
हाँ, तो उसमें मिल्खा सिंह मैंने जॉइन आर्मी एंड उसको भगाई जा रहे हैं एंड आफ्टर 2-3 साल वो फेड अप होकर कहता है यार बंदूक तो है ही नहीं यहाँ पे, बंदूक आज इतने साल हो गए फौज में बंदूक तो फायर करने के लिए मिली है, तो भगाई जा रहे हैं. एनडीए में जाके भी यही हुआ कि सब कुछ हो रहा है, मतलब आर्मी का तो कुछ देखने को मिल रहा है, रगड़ा ही चल रहा है वहां तो, है ना. फर्स्ट टाइम शुरू में तो लगता था यार क्या फंस गए, कहाँ पंगा ले लिया एंड ऑल दैट. But then, of course, that matter of honor and pride and all that, you can't go back and what will you tell your friends? So we decided to stick. ज़्यादा ज़्यादा क्या हो जाएगा? Fail ही हो जाएंगे ज़्यादा ज़्यादा. It's better to stick now. And then you went through first term, which was the worst. You were the junior most. Second term, you gain some confidence. Third term, you start enjoying, you gain some privileges in the SCON and all that. And you start making difference. You have an understudy in your third term and you start training them. And then, so slowly you are broken down in NDA. Totally your personality, your way of thinking, the mold is broken and then you're remolded according to the requirements of the forge.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's military training anyway. Military training anywhere in the world does that, especially for the permanent army. So you should be, anyone joining NDA should be ready for that. Yeah. And the initial 6 months, 1 year will be hard, and then uske baad things will pick up and you'll start learning from each other. You'll make really good friendships. And those friendships will be long lasting, as you mentioned. Yeah. Those bonds are really, really strong. कहीं भी कभी भी चले जाओ, कोई भी मिल जाए, even after 20 years. I met some of my friends अभी last trips to India. We had a course get together and all. And I met them and we were like dancing together. अभी दूसरों के नाम भी याद नहीं है, शक्लें थोड़ी बहुत ही change हो गई and all that. But we were having so much fun and we just caught up from where we had left 20 years ago. कि NDA की passing out पे last देखा था, because they were from a different service. And then we met there and we were catching up and really, because you know everything about everyone, so to Coastmates, a lot of your close friends don't know things about you that the Coastmates know about you, because you spend day and night together. Correct. And all that.
3 साल.
Your weaknesses, your vulnerability, your sensitivities, तुम्हें क्या रुलाएगा, क्या हंसाएगा, they know everything about you. So that's how you become very, very close and then end up becoming lifelong friends.
Yeah.
उसके बाद. So NDA was good. NDA, it's not just NDA. If you don't make it to NDA, you can go to CDS also.
Correct.
And same about IMA. People who do their graduation outside and come to IMA, again 1.5 years. The training is curtailed, not as long as the NDA. 1.5 साल की training है वहाँ पे. And other academies also, AFA and all that. हर academy का अपना अपना culture होता है थोड़ा थोड़ा, but the aim is same. Aim is
Correct.
to break your previous personalities and then remold you according to the requirements of the army culture, because it's a different culture है ना we are coming into. थोड़ी social hierarchy army में strict, armed forces में strict है, senior junior के relationships थोड़ी अलग हैं, mannerisms, your code of conduct, the way you dress up, the way you walk, है ना, so that has to become part of your nature, and that's why the training is so sort of strict and rigorous.
You were in Kiloscon, sir?
Yes, so NDA में I was in Kiloscon, 97th course. And still, I mean, we were a bunch of good lads. When we joined, we were all so useless. बिल्कुल useless. किसी से भागा नहीं जाता, किसी से पीटी नहीं हो रही, किसी से पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं हो रही, है ना, किसी से games. I was so useless in games, है ना. But by the time we passed out in 6th term, we got the 6th term camp की plaque. We came first in the camps. So we gradually build up ourselves up, and then we got 2 or 3 services pin, the best army cadet from my squadron. So as you, so the environment shaped them really, और उनको कहते हैं ना हीरे को तराश के उन्होंने, they brought them out really well. We had this guy who was weak in PT, but then he passed out with gold torch, which academics में he topped and all that, and he still kept on passing his PT test. He worked hard on his weak points, and he never failed. They teach you not to give up, and so everyone passed out, and now I mean we are still.
There is a question, sir, which has come. Any particular tradition or particular incident about close con or something which is very specific to the SCON? Somebody has written a question.
Yeah. So close con का tradition है कि there is something known as शाम को ना tea के साथ eats आती हैं. You get a biscuit or a cake or some little thing with tea and eats. है ना, तो usually क्या होता है SCONs में 6th and 5th termers eat most of the eats खा लेते हैं, because they enter the games के बाद ना. There's something known as you can't enter the SCON after games. You come and muster outside the SCON, and then CSM gives you a little ML and talks about the day, and then lets you in. And then you go and have your tea and eats, and then you go have shower, change, and then sit down for your study period. So it's a tradition, sort of, So 5th and 6th termers are allowed to go inside SCON without that muster. So वो पहले जाके eats और चाय खत्म करते हैं जब तक बाकी SCON आ जाती है. But किलो SCON में हमारा tradition था कि every first termer will get their eats. So CQMS used to make sure that वो पहले जैसी eats आती थी CQMS के पास आती थी, he would take out eats for first termer, और अगर उनको टी टाइम पे नहीं मिली तो शाम को स्टडी पीरियड के बाद जब सोशल अपना एंटी रूम ऑर्डर्स होते थे उसमें he would distribute eats to first termer and make sure that all first termer get their eat. So this is one strong tradition जो चला आ रहा है ना अभी भी SCON में है. And second good tradition we have is that we used to sing our announcements. बाकी SCONs में ना announcement जो होती हैं कि रिवेली हो गई, लाइट्स आउट हो गई, टी हो गई, स्टडी पीरियड हो गया, ऑल दिस अनाउंसमेंट्स और मस्टर की अनाउंसमेंट्स, एंड they just announce it. Pay attention to and then go on. Kilos SCON में we used to sing it.
I am putting you on a spot, sir. A little bit one rhyme, sir. कैसे होता था? I don't know, sir.
So, for example, lights out की होती थी, pay attention, Kilos SCON. All cadets can skip midlay. Very rhythmic, है ना? And then lights out, kilos gone. Lights out, kilos gone. so by the time, मतलब इतनी लंबी announcement होती थी कि by the time the person will start singing it, and by the time he'll finish, you're already changed and you're already in your bed.
Achha, so there is something so
that
broken. Means there is one thing that when the announcement is made and before it ends, you have to just be and the order has to be executed, and there is some SCON which speak out this order so fast, lightning pace. I think so. I don't know which SCON it is, but I've heard that also.
Yeah, Lima SCON की होती थी. We could never understand, like वो parents SCON वगैरह आते थे तो we used to go and stay with them. अपनी SCON, my SCON, Kilo SCON was converted into parents SCON, so we'd go and they would say something, and then हम कहते यार क्या बोल गए समझ में आया, somebody has to translate. But then they would just look at the time कि अभी टी की announcement होगी, अभी lights out की announcement होगी, so they knew so each SCON has its own little tradition. So
and who was your somebody who from Paras was the DS there, or how did you? It was in NDA only that seed was sown कि हाँ यार ये है regiment, ये है बैरे, or it was later in the academy in IMA, or later in the how was it?
Yeah, so we had some Captain Segan थे, Colonel Segan, 10 para वाले है
Okay,
ना.
हाँ 10 para sir.
He was Devo. We really used to look up to him. He used to come on his bullet. अपना style था उनका, and बड़ी उनके and the badges he used to wear and all that, है ना. And then a lot of myths about him, you know, कि he doesn't report to commandant, he reports to someone else. मतलब वो फुटबॉल मैच के बाद कमांडांट के बाद आते थे, पता नहीं कुछ बिजी होंगे, he must be DD or something, but we would say कि देखो कमांडांट के बाद आ रहे हैं, तो पैरा वालों को तो you know. So those myths and all which has floated around it build a rapport of paratroopers कि there are different kind of breeds, है ना. And एक दो paratroopers हमारी स्क्वाड में भी आए थे, but एक बार आए थे. I mean we couldn't really recognize them. I mean they just give you a pillow squad, but they look damn fit, man. Really fit, smart, एकदम belt shirt, maroon beret पहन के and all that. And then अपने 3 para वाले थे NSG में, who led the 2611 में. What was his name again?
3 para.
Sharon.
Sharon sir.
Colonel
Sharon. Colonel Sharon sir.
Colonel Sharon was also. He was Devo in a squad, and then towards our 5th and 6th term he came as a Devo.
Okay.
So he was there, but उस time इतना मतलब वो that die hard attitude था कि पैरा join करना है. Once we went to IMA, and वहाँ पे जब choice of arms आई कि अब तो you have to choose, कि choice of arms decide करनी. शुरू में you know the forms that you fill up introduction, तो उसमें options होती हैं कि what are your choice of arms. And तो उसमें of course those who are infantry opties armies में है ना, we thought कि infantry optic लिखते हैं तो merit OQ point ज्यादा मिलेंगे, शायद वो खुश हो जाएगा ना. तो मैंने कहा infantry लिखनी है तो पैरा ही लिखते हैं, है ना. We'll write kind of thing 9 para SF, 10 para SF and all that. शुरू से I was writing 9 para, 10 para SF and all that, है ना. And but then towards the end again you got to know more about paras कि ये होता है. You hear about academy presentations वगैरह होती हैं and all that. Then came to know about locations of the unit and this, that and all that. And then I stuck to it and I said अब मतलब लिख दिया है तो पैरा ही join करना है. I don't want to change my mind. Although I was first 15th in merit, I was in not super block but in power block. शायद मुझे मेरी choice मिल जाती, but I'm glad I opted for paras and I stuck to it. And I remember before जिस दिन entry room में जाके announcements होती है ना, I don't know how it's done in OTA, but हमारे everyone is called in entry room बिठा के and then you are given your regiments. I remember the day so clearly.
Academy classroom में होता है हमारा, classroom में हुआ था.
Okay.
I remember.
So हाँ, because हमारे battalion wise होता है ना, it's battalion wise बिठा के battalion entry room में बिठा के. And then मुझे तो as we were moving मेरे DV को पहले call आ गया था because I was SEO in IMA, so I had a telephone in my cabin. So he called me कि Sandhu, congratulations, you got 21 SF. तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आता, मैं खुश हूँ कि दुखी हूँ इसमें. There was no reaction. And then we went to वहाँ पे and then I already knew, but बाकी सब की मिल रही थी, कुछ खुश हुए, कुछ रो रहे थे कि यार ये क्या मिल गया, you know.
Casualty.
So I very clearly remember that day जब हमारा allocation हुआ था, and some of those guys who were crying now are the happiest to be in that regiment. They say कि I can't thank my stars enough कि I have got this regiment, है ना, because वो अपने regiment and sort of.
One thing I'll just take back, sir, कि NDA passing out, sir. You know, it's so grand, it's so glamorous because it's armed service passing out, kind of. It's all the 3 arms are there and passing out. Anything which still remains, you know, I'm sure you will still get goosebumps when you talk about NDA passing out and IMA passing out. But any experience what you want to share or about that?
Well, it's a very, very grand show. There's no doubt. Usually Prime Minister, President, these are the people who come. And a Defense Minister, absolutely top of the country. Any foreign dignitaries who are visiting, they are the ones who come and attend the passing out, because it's a tri-service organization की passing out parade, है ना. And that show of the fly past done by the fighters and Sukhois and all those, it's very, very glamorous. And the drill is good as well, है ना. Drill and all that grand scale. It's very difficult to, when I went back to IMA as assistant adjutant, and then I was responsible for conducting that drill. So you realize that how it's not an easy task. You have to start good about 5-6 months in advance, kind of thing, to start preparing, and coordinating that at that scale. You know, 15-16 squadrons standing in front of you, and then timings and drill is immaculate and everything. So a lot of hard work goes into it, especially drill stars, जो है हमारे drill instructors and all. Totally hats off to them. Best soldiers ever, in terms of stamina, dedication, honesty, integrity, everything in them. And so yeah, NDA passing out. If anyone ever gets a chance as a friend, कोई friend pass out हो रहा है, कोई family pass out हो रही है, and you have a chance, just tell them, "Okay, I want some passes. Arrange your passes. Go and attend this passing out
Lifetime
parade." Otherwise,
experience. It's a lifetime
हाँ,
experience.
once a lifetime definitely must watch है.
Yeah.
And otherwise, अभी तो YouTube वगैरह आ गया. YouTube पे सारे
Uh,
every pass it's done anyway. But that live जो feeling होती है ना, that's really nice.
and
That's really very glamorous.
And in IMA, when you passed out, sir, so you passed out on the
Yeah.
maroon. I was lucky that I got my maroon before even, clearing my probation. Because there was no instructor, DS. So you
Yeah.
passed out in combats, or you were in OGs and with maroon pass out, Now they are very particular. You are, pipping is done in combats for para-opties.
Yeah. But then you're not allowed to wear maroons अभी, है ना?
No.
You wear zap caps, हाँ. I think recently, कुछ साल पहले, some GCs got in trouble also because they
Correct.
defied the order and they wore maroons and then they got in really trouble. But our time, I was lucky because our commandant was from Paras, Lieutenant General Yuvraj Mehta. He was from Para Engineers and he was a paratrooper. And abhi recently I met him here in London. And station पे we just bumped into him. He was wearing that paratrooper's tie, regimental tie. And I just went to him and I said, "कहाँ देखा है आपको? You look very familiar, but And then he said, "Hey, I'm Lieutenant General Yuvraj Mehta." I go, "Oh my God, you are our commandant in IMA." He was
Small
so
world.
time, yeah. He was so adamant कि paratroopers जो हैं, they will wear maroon beret. So he called, I remember 9 Field के, I forget the name of the officer, 9 Field के officer थे. I met him later in Para Brigade also. He especially was called from Agra कि हमारे इस term में 8 के 9 paratroopers are going for probation. I want so many maroon berets for them. So he was called. We were all given maroon अपना berets and all that, and we passed out in maroon.
Yeah. With this, I remember, sir. I just want to tell others also that 7th September, that is tomorrow, my course will complete 18 years. So we passed out on 7th September 2002. So
Nice, man, nice. Yeah.
I will surely post few of the images there. But it is अंतिम पग जब लेते हैं तो it's something I still remember कि it is there in front of my eyes. So,
I mean
no,
sorry, go on.
No, I just.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very emotional thing as well, because plus the build up to it is very a lot of work goes into it, hard work goes into it. You wait for it every day. अपने calendars में we start cutting dates towards the end and all. Yeah, and my office as assistant adjutant was right there instead of that, where Antik Pag was. So every day I would stand there and look at it. Just a couple of years we were here on the other side of the drill square, and now we are on the other side. So it's a good feeling to go back, no doubt. In fact, when somebody asked this question here, any GCs joined when I was assistant adjutant? So yes, there were a couple of GCs who joined my regiment. In fact, one of my, अपना विकास शर्मा कीर्ति चक्र later on. He was my GC in IMA, and then he was my company 2IC in Bandipur when he got the Kirti Chakra.
Wow.
So yeah, so he joined when I was assistant adjutant.
So I'm being assistant adjutant, getting EDs and giving EDs and getting, it is, I can very well understand that you must be, something, ED dena nahi dena, but it's always good for the cadets, future of the cadets. I'll say those EDs are given and all. So when you joined your Platoon, I'll say 6, when you joined, it was in peace or it was in field, I will just put it that way. And how was your probation then?
Yeah, no, so as I said, my first probation was with 21 SF.
Okay.
So I
was clueless. I was not aware.
Yeah. So my first probation was with 21 SF from academy. Us time probation hota tha 2 parts mein, 45 days in Bangalore. And then 45 days in unit.
It started again, It started again same way.
So because of some injuries or something, they said कि academy में training ठीक नहीं हो रही है, इनको थोड़ा conditioning करो Bangalore में, and then unit something. And so that time that happened. So from after my term break, I went to Bangalore, spent 45 days there, had good time, really amazing time, because हम सब academy से सब इकट्ठे थे वहाँ पे ना. So really good memories. I have some good pictures also उस time की. और अमनी बेंस, अमित डोगरा, अपने ठाकुर सर थे, he went back to Rajdev later on. अपने पंजाब regiment के थे एक सर, senior to us, but really good gang. Well, about 12, 13 of us. This guy was there. What's his name? Both the brothers on the army here.
Sandhu, अपना Bains, 7K.
नहीं.
अच्छा, राठीज.
Rathi,
Rathis.
sir. हाँ, Rathi. So the elder
Rathis.
brother was my course mate, and the younger brother was already in seven. He was just finishing probation and going to seven when we reached वहाँ पे, है ना?
Uh,
So वो overlap था. So Rathi did the elder Rathi, who is now in Rajreef. I think he did probation उस time हमारे
correct.
साथ काम में. So Harry Sandhu and all those, we were सब all there Bangalore में. हरी संधू पागल आदमी एक दिन वो प्लास्टिक की बकेट में रॉड चला के चला गया. बाय द टाइम ही केम बैक द बकेट हैड मेल्टेड एंड एवरीथिंग. सो उसको बहुत चित्र पड़े थे कमांड से उस दिन. दैट डे ही वुड हैव बर्न डाउन द होल थिंग. एंड एनीवे, सो बैंगलोर में वी हैड 45 days एंड देन आई वेंट टू जोरहाट जहाँ पे 21 पैरा थी. एंड सिंस जोरहाट में कोई टीम्स थी नहीं, ऑल द टीम्स वर डिप्लॉयड. सीओ कर्नल विक्रम सेठ एट दैट टाइम, ही सेंट मी टू तवांग. अनिल सुब्रीन बालाकृष्णन वाज द team
Acha.
commander that time.
He's with
Yeah,
Reliance
so
now.
I did probation under him in Tawang.
Okay.
Obviously, I failed that probation, and then वहाँ से I came back to Jorhat and waited for my posting. I was sent to 14 Jackref, which was
Okay.
in Binagudi.
Binagudi. Okay, northeast.
Binagudi, हाँ हाँ, वो वेस्ट बंगाल में. Brilliant, बहुत ही अच्छा station, lovely station. I was well received by the unit, really looked after. Infantry में, and then with the unit only I went to Bhutan for 2 months training जो होती है ना, 3 months circle rotation करने जाते हैं. So but I couldn't finish my 3 months because मेरा वायोस आ गया था बीच में. And then when I was in Bhutan, there was a team from 21 SF which came and spent tenure with us. There's a team of 1 officer, 1 JCU and 5-6 other ranks who do rotation with those units. So उसमें रजनीश मोहन सर आए थे.
Okay.
And he had a good time with him also because we have spent time in 21 SF also. He was the adjutant, so he taught me little tricks of the trade of being the adjutant of the unit and all that. We had fun in Jorhat, and then we had good fun in Bhutan. And then he motivated me. कहते तू फिर से opt कर ले, problem क्या है? You know, if you really kind of thing. So I was on the edge at that time, but he motivated me again, and he told me the process also. He got me the forms also. ये ले भर, and then now again that fire again was ignited. And then on my way to Vios, I first went to Army headquarters. I gave my one set of forms directly to Army headquarters, signed by CO. And then another set, of course, went through proper channel and all that. And by the time I finished my Vios, my second probation came to 6 para. So from Vios, I reported straight to 6 para, which was in Agra then. And then in the month of January, I remember, I reported to Agra, and Anshuman Baduria, Joyce Joseph, and Sarfraz and Harshveer Singh. 3 of them came to pick me up from station. है ना? तो कोई सहायक बन के, कोई कुछ बन के and all that.
And
So that was good fun.
All 3, you know, I'll say the legend in themselves. I'll say Mavericks and legends in themselves. Baduria and Sarfraz sir.
Yeah.
I want to tell the audience, Sarfraz sir, 6 para, you know, a legend in himself. Recently been awarded with the what sir, one of the
Tenzing Norgay Award.
Tenzing Norgay Award. From the same regiment, same unit, I will say, from Sandhu sir. So that's amazing, sir. I'll say. Yeah.
So he conducted my probation, and he was the most ruthless anyway. He was BC in NDA also, so knew him since that time. And so yeah, probation 6 para mein. Then again, Jaggi Nanda sir was my probation officer. And in fact, we left Mau together. He was finishing his senior command, and I finished my bios, and I met him there before coming to unit, है ना. तो उन्होंने ऑफर भी किया था, कहते कार में जा रहे हैं हम, तो हमारे साथ चल. मैं नहीं सर, मैं तो ट्रेन में ठीक हूँ, प्लीज आप कार में प्रोविजन शुरू कर दो. पता चला ग्वालियर से आगरा भाग के आना पड़ेगा. सो आई सेड नहीं सर, मैं ट्रेन में आ रहा हूँ प्लीज. एंड ट्रेन में आया, देन स्टेशन पे आते ही डांगरी में चेंज, पिट्ठू बैकपैक पहना 20 kgs का, एंड रनिंग टू द मेस. आई थिंक 2 o'clock 1 o'clock in the morning and all that. So probation started. जनवरी का महीना था, ठंड थी, and it was so cold. I remember सुबह पीटी होती थी. I couldn't रोप, पीटी करके आते ना, भाग के आते थे, तो हाथ सिकुड़ जाते थे. तो you couldn't climb the rope. और जग्गी सर would be standing there to take the test. तो ग्रिप ही नहीं हो रहा है, रोप से नहीं चढ़ा रहा. तो कहते तुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा ना. मैंने कहा सर इट्स सो कोल्ड, इट्स रियली कोल्ड, एंड यू. कहते सब अंग्रेजी है, तो रहने दे. मैंने कहा अब कोई बात. अब उसके बाद ना, जब थोड़ा सा वेदर चेंज हुआ होली के आसपास, है ना, तो मैंने इस तरह धीरे धीरे प्रोविजन में, ऑफ कोर्स दैट डिडंट किक मी आउट बिकॉज आई डिडंट गिव अप, एंड प्रोविजन चलता रहा, रगड़ा रोटा सब चलता रहा, डे एंड नाइट एंड ऑल दैट. एंड जैसे ही मौसम चेंज हुआ ना, तब तक फिटनेस लेवल भी थोड़ा ठीक हो गया था. वाया उसका वो फैट फुट उतर गया था सर. मैंने कहा अब बताता हूँ मैं आपको, अब लेके चलो रोप पे, काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो उस टाइप का. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स प्रोबेशन वेंट वेल. स्पीड मार्च वगैरह किए सारे वहाँ पे. एंड आई थिंक अनदर 3 months by March end, my probation finished, and April May
Moved.
I was with the unit, and May I did my para basic.
Okay. And
Yeah.
there is a question about, how was the first jump experience? I know for us it was I had very simple that it was like I was made for jumping from planes. When I first, it's not about the provision part, but it was about when
Yeah.
I was looking when the ramp was open. Oh, this is something the best place to be,
Yeah.
the safest place to be on the
Yeah.
standing on the ramp with a parachute.
Yeah. My experience was totally opposite.
Uh-huh.
Although I'd done all the ground training and all the all the flying experience and everything on all that, and like when they take you for the air experience.
Yeah.
Air experience is when they shoot सारा कुछ equipment वगैरह पहना के, they take you up
Taking
in the air and they bring you to the end of the ramp and then see if you're scared, and all they'll ask you a couple of questions: what's your number, what's your name, and which regiment you're from, and then they send you back and then you go and sit down. So just you're standing on the edge ready to jump. So they see how you feel like, and not many cadets fail in that test, but some people are really scared of heights. There's a fear of height, something known as fear of height.
correct.
कुछ लोगों में होता है, कुछ में नहीं होता है. And it's not your fault that तुम्हें है. It's a inbuilt kind of
Yeah.
mechanism, defense mechanism. And some people, as like they say, when a child is born, he or she is born with only one fear, and rest of the fears we learn. So that one fear we are born with is fear of height.
Okay.
किसी बच्चे को ऐसे पढ़ के ना ऐसे सडनली नीचे करना, see how it ऐसे होता है ना. So that is the only fear we as human body are born with. So most of us overcome that, but some of us are not able to overcome that. So but if you are not able to overcome that, then you can never jump out of the planes because your body will paralyze at that height.
Correct.
So to check all that, we do that fan test hota hai, and then air experience hota and all that. So till then, I was very brave. एयर एक्सपीरियंस तो पता है कि कूदने तो वाले तो नहीं है ना. तो आई वाज वेरी ब्रेव कि हाँ मेरा नाइस नंबर आईसी सो एंड सो नेम सो एंड सो यूनिट 6 पैरा एंड जाके बैठ गए. सो पास एवरीथिंग. जिस दिन पहला टेस्ट आया उस दिन आई रिमेंबर कि यार आज तो कूदना पड़ेगा, आज कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है. एंड एज ऑफिसर यू जंप, यू आर नंबर 1 ऑन द स्टिक आल्सो, है ना.
Number one on the
आई
stick.
रिमेंबर आई वाज स्टैंडिंग ऑन द एज एंड रैंप ओपन. मई का महीना था, गर्म हवा केम इन, गर्म हवा आ रही है, होठ सूख रहे हैं, है ना. लिटरली यू आर डाइंग
And
विद
the fear
थर्स्ट
is
एंड
also there.
fear is also there. My heart was coming to my neck as a doom 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 really fast. But then after a while you said कि आज मर जाना है, but अभी रुकना नहीं है. You feel what is courage at the end? Courage is overcoming that fear. Huh? So you see yourself overcoming that fear कि ठीक है डर तो बहुत लग रहा है, but अब इज्जत का सवाल है, अब पीछे सब जनता खड़ी देख रही है, अब रुकना नहीं है ना. So out of that courage, I just jumped. And when you jump, you follow the drills that you taught like million times, है ना. And then the parachute opens, सब कुछ ठीक हुआ, and then you land. So once you landed, and that was the best experience. You realize कि यार अभी 1 minute ago I was in that aeroplane and now I'm in the ground. And then first jump was very scary, and then second, third onwards. So
Correct. Then it becomes
it becomes easy. Yeah. So first jump was really scary for me.
not many people are asking questions, and I don't know because I have not done that 100-kilometer run. In the probation. I think a lot many people have seen in the Net Geo series and the Discovery series in the probation. Especially, I think so. There was a one para, and doing 100. What was the longest run in the probation? Or what was the toughest movement for the probation? I will just jump back a little bit and just coming ahead.
Yeah, toughest ऐसा like speed marches and all, to it becomes part of your life. Now you're doing them so often.
Yeah,
You
mine
get
was the
used to them.
maximum. Mine was speed march was maximum 60. That was again braking part, but not continuous. I will say that was the maximum I did, but
Yeah.
that was not also continuous. I have not done 100. I don't know about you, sir, but I have not done
Yeah,
100.
no. I've done I think 40, but I've done it so many times. 40 kilometers तो इतनी बार कर लिया, और 30 तो इतनी बात कर लिया. Can't even remember how many times I've done 30 kilometers. First in 21 para. नहीं, उससे पहले फर्स्ट इन बैंगलोर, फिर 21 पैरा में, फिर 6 पैरा में, है ना. और उसके बाद कंपनी कैडर्स में, एवरी कैडर दैट यू डू, यू आर रनिंग विद द ट्रूप्स एनीवे, है ना. 30-40 kilometers. I mean, you gradually, it's not that you suddenly wake up and you do 160-40 kilometers, whatever.
It cannot happen.
You gradually progress to it, and by the time you progress to it, your body becomes accustomed to it. वो फिर पीठ भी छिलनी बंद हो जाती है, वो छाले पड़ने भी बंद हो जाते हैं, and all that धीरे धीरे your body become accustomed to it. It's not scary at all. It's very doable, and it's more mental.
It's more
mental that you body will give up. उसको भूख भी लगेगी, you lose weight and everything. Lose motions भी हो जाएंगे बीच में, कुछ भी हो जाएगा, dehydrate हो जाओगे, है ना, kind of thing. But don't give up. Just keep running till the time you collapse. Just keep running. So it's more of a mental than physical thing.
I do remember. So I don't want to name the officer because the officer is still serving. So this gentleman. Who is one of the mads in 7. You may understand from the northeast, unlike not a short heighted, a long heighted. So this guy came, sir, आया रात में और मैंने इसको कहा कि old monk, आधा बॉटल पूफ ऑफ करा दिया रात में ना और पिट्ठू दे दिया and now
Yeah.
go and it is not about pittu. You also put pittu because if you are doing someone, you make sure that you are also running with him. It's not the individual alone running, the probationer alone running. And this guy was, sir, isko hilte hue kuch bhi nahi. I could make out that this guy is acting and he was very good in his acting. Very good in acting. Mere pe nahi hua. And this guy was having full fun ki chalo, you had given me that charge of battery charge kar di mere ko andar dal ke. And I was like, yaar, ye to sala waste chala gaya sara. so that was an incident I still remember. And how was your experience when it comes to with the troops? I know, I just want to hear from your side why people say that para is different from with no offense that infantry or other arms, but when it comes to troop, when it comes to training, what differentiates paras, SF? I don't want to go in that debate of para and para SF because people don't know that the standards are at par. It is just tactical where you are employed, strategically where you are employed, but anybody in whether an SF or paras, training wise, standard wise, everybody is same. It's nothing like that. So but what differentiates the troops or what differentiates us from the others?
So I think firstly is that they're all volunteers. Firstly, you volunteered into the army, and within the army also you volunteered in the parachute regiment. So everyone who comes to the regiment is already motivated to a certain extent. They know what they're getting into. Secondly, our physical standards are slightly tougher than infantry. And the reason, not because we want to maintain ourselves as elite or something like that, not because we are psychos, only because parachute regiments ki operational requirement is that you have to be physically fit. Because parachute jump in itself is a physically demanding activity. So you're carrying 14 kgs of reserve parachute, 7 kg of 14 of main, 7 kg reserve, and then 30 kgs of your rucksack. So there's about 50-60 kgs load on your back. And then you sit in the aircraft without water, without food, dehydrated, and tactical routing hoke 3-4 ghante ki flying karke you're jumping into the enemy territory. By the time you land, you're tired, you're thirsty, you are hungry. But now the actual battle begins now, and you're already exhausted. So that's why that physical fitness requirement is much more than the other arms. And that's why our physical tests jo hai, apne route speed marches ho gaye, endurance ho gaye, chin-ups ho gaye, PPT, BPT ke standards are slightly higher. So this is, and as a result, unki mental conditioning ho jati hai paratroopers ki, that is also very robust. So that's the reason when they go in operations, they're ready to sort of push themselves to limits. Let's say, I remember one operation, we went to this operation and we were told operation will last for 2 days, 48 hours. I told my troops to be self-contained for 3 days because you never know, as a contingency, है ना, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So 3 दिन का हम राशन लेके गए थे और उससे ज़्यादा capacity भी नहीं थी because we were walking 20 kilometers, climbing 2 kilometers. Vertically we were climbing 2 kilometers in that terrain. So we took ration and plus main concern was ammunition because we are going to an isolated location. वहाँ पे resupply नहीं आएगी, वहाँ पे जो खुद ammunition लेके जाएंगे वही होगा. So we were carrying that load and we walked. After 3 days, our ration finished and the operation extended to another 2 days, 5 days. So last 2 days, we were surviving only on water that we were drinking from the streams which were flowing. And we had saved सिर्फ चाय का राशन, थोड़ी चीनी बच गई थी और चाय बच गई थी. तो चाय का राशन और वो गुजर वगैरह थे उनसे हम we were buying milk at the rate of 100 rupees per glass, something like that ना. So सुबह उठते सारी मतलब before moving out, we would like of course lay ambush at night, set up a harbor. Before moving out, the guy will make sure that everyone had a cup of tea. And at night after sunset, because it was really cold, so everyone gets another cup of tea. So this is how we survived the last 2 days. And troops were happy. Troops, no one complained because mentally, physically, you are conditioned to perform in that way. So that gives you a little edge over infantry. I'm not saying infantry is not motivated. We have really, really fantastic soldiers. But paratrooper, it's a culture. They already know the expectations are more, and you have to go beyond your own limits. So troops are always ready and willing. उनको कुछ भी काम दे दो, you will never say no. कभी you will never say मायूस कि मुझसे नहीं होगा kind of a thing. That attitude you'll never see. You can't really have that.
Yeah,
that's what troops. It's really good fun working with those troops.
And sir, now I know I'm conscious of time also, and we may extend little bit when we are going. You know, 1 घंटा तो खत्म हो जाएगा because people are very excited and very I will say inquisitive about the second part of the journey, which will come later. I think so in the second half, which I will say. But you know, any things about any operations or anything, I'm not putting. I know there is a big mark of confidential share, not share kind of a thing. But you know, lot many people come with, you know, paras to pagal hi hote hain. So
नहीं ऐसे कोई बात नहीं है. All operations are very tactically planned. I mean, you're trained throughout in your services, you know. And in fact, you know, that's one thing I would like to highlight. अपने I think society में the media has done a really bad job of demonizing the enemy, no matter who it is. है ना? Nowhere in the military training are you told to hate your enemy, to throw swear words at them, to, you know, to sort of ridicule them, to dishonor them. You never taught that. We have won no wars by being angry at the enemy or by ridiculing them or by humiliating them. We have won wars only by good tactics and good strategies. And that's what army officers, as officers and soldiers, we need to stick to that. We let media do its job. They might be saying so and so country is that and so country is that and our neighbors is this and that. Our job is not to do that. Our job is to win the battles that we have been sent to fight. And we will do that only by concentrating on good tactics and good strategy and planning good operations.
Correct.
And army teaches you that very well. So we need to focus on that. Because the moment we lose focus from this and we start diverging to what society is doing and what others are doing, we'll not be able to do that. We'll sort of divert from our main focus. And गुस्से में तो कभी कोई जंग जीती जाती नहीं है. You will never win.
Correct.
So this जो है ना emotions, we have to keep these emotions aside. Save them only for that last 200 meters की लड़ाई. That last 200 meters when you are going to be in contact with the enemy, emotions will come handy there. But till then, it's straight logic, tactics, and only that.
I do agree, sir. And lot many people say कि, you know, SF वाले पागल होते हैं, दिमाग एकदम सनकी होता है. I will say they are the most coolest operator. Paras wale, they are the most coolest operator. Or I will not say paras wale. Indian Armed Forces, you are trained in a way that you become cool, that you don't react. Yeah. If you react, that means you have already, you know, fallen prey to what, you know, what the enemy will want you to do. You know, whether it is, and the glamour part is always, you know, media hua, movies way. They will show you, but that is far away from reality. It is more of being cool. And you said that we respect soldier, always respect a soldier. It is just you are defending your country, I am defending my country, but God forbid that you are in front of me, then I will surely win. So I do agree with you, sir, and it's a very valid point. You say that there is no enmity as an individual human race mein nahi hai. It is more, you know, you are trained, and army as a religion always teaches us, you know, as to respect even the fallen soldiers of the enemy. What we have seen in past also, sir. So I totally understand.
Absolutely, we have fought all our war gentleman way, and we need to stick to that. Honor. We should never lose honor, no matter what. I don't think. Yeah. And operations and all, yes. I mean, it being in the infantry and being in the regiment, parachute regiment, it gives you a lot of exposure to combat. And if you can take your men to a battle and bring them all back, I think you fought your battle well.
One, sir. And same.
That's the mindset that every leader, every commander needs to have. And and troops will perform beyond courage. Troops have never failed us. It's the orders and the guidance and the leadership that has failed us. Our troops have never failed us. You know, they just need the right kind of leadership. So that's all.
No, I totally agree, sir. I totally agree. I agree with you, and I think so. I had two sessions when Albert also was there and Jacob. It is simple, and I both said the same thing. What you said, ki, you know, the feeling of going, you know, full strength and coming full strength back, nothing less.
Yeah.
You know, it itself gives you so much of satisfaction, because the cascading effect it has when you lose someone. It is 3 generations. It is not 1 generation, 2 generation. It is 3 generation, and I always make sure that you know, same thing is there कि मरने से जंग नहीं जीती जाती. You know, you have to be alive to win the war. And sir, and academy, when you were assistant adjutant and all. So what was, you know, viewing life from other side?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because you're still young, Anna, you're still learning the tricks and traits of the army, but you're still in touch with your GC days. And
Yeah,
then, like shortcut job, when we, as cadets and GCs, we used to take those shortcuts. Now your job is to plug those shortcuts.
correct.
So you already knew those shortcuts. There's no trick that you've not done.
Yeah,
Anna, so as assistant adjutant, it was a good, fun job. And firstly, it was absolutely great honor to be the assistant
assistant
adjutant
adjutant. I
of
agree.
Indian Military Academy. I really enjoyed the job. I did not go to on any hike. 1.5 years I was assistant adjutant. I did not go any hike. Maybe I took some leave in between, especially once my son was born. And otherwise, I was there on the job because I really enjoyed the job. People like officers and all, they are at that career stage where they are either preparing for JC or they're preparing for staff college and all. So they take some leave here and there. But I totally enjoyed the job. I thought I'll go to my unit and then do whatever I have to do. And really good. And the connection, one-to-one connection with the GCs, it was a fun part. Adjutant and I used to have a fight that आज वो punishment parade कौन लेगा. So most of the time I used to do it, and then he used to say, "Yeah, some days you have to let me also take it,"
Yeah.
because connecting with the GCs and spending time with them, talking to them, and see, what is assistant adjutant's job? Drill, discipline, honor code, honor, turnout. These are his bread and butter.
Okay.
So, and these forms the very epitome and the very basis of our
Core.
yeah, core of whatever we do in soldiering, you know. And then
Correct,
we
sir.
had best drill instructors under you, drill instructors who were my ustad. There was a famous guy in drill, Haldar, when I was at GC. Um, what was his name again, man? I forgot his name. Sorry.
No, no issues, sir.
He came back as a Naib Subedar when I was the assistant adjutant, and then as I have trained under him as a GC, but I came back as his boss because he was my SA,
Yeah.
and I always saw him as my ustad because I had trained under him. And although so we both sort of risen in service together, but I was way junior as far as soldiering is concerned to him. So there was still a lot to learn from him, and he's a very well known name in
Yeah.
the army. So it was like being on the other side. It was still very humbling kind of experience. Yeah.
Correct, sir. 3 minutes are left. We will again connect because half an hour I will take additional more because
ठीक
the
है हाँ
other
हाँ sure
part
sure
is left for sure. I will
sure.
what I will do. I know and I will not touch upon and I will not ask. You want to tell
Devi
in
Singh
your
Rathore.
own way.
Sorry,
हाँ.
Devi Singh Rathore was
आ
the
गया
name was.
सर आ गया नाम भी आ गया नीचे सर सूबेदार
There we
मेजर
go.
देवी सिंह राठौर सी सर somebody is from your he is saying I want to 4A and K you were assistant commander of the 4A and K I think so that's what it is saying is there what I will
Okay.
do is sir उससे अभी 3 मिनट में I will say people have been speaking a lot about that you write a lot because 3 minutes के बाद में I will come and I will ask people not to miss because there is a journey of the second part coming going into the London going there relocating there and joining the Territorial Army of British Territorial Army and knowing about how they are what they are and all उससे पहले सर इकबाल की कोई शायरी हो जाए सर I think the six para wale, Bhadoria sir, you guys are awesome. And you write also. Somebody has written, people are following you. Somebody have written you have written a blog about a Sahayak, use of Sahayaks and all earlier. So people are
Yeah, I
following
think I
you.
wrote it for my long time ago for my unit newsletter. उस time लिखा था kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I just put it
So
on the
कोई
blog.
2 मिनट का कोई
So
शायरी हो जाए सर
do we need to take a break? There's a time limit or something that we can't do
I
live?
will be, what happens is I will be jumped out. It will close. And again, I will have to start a live session and you
अच्छा
have to
okay
just connect that way only. So it is that way, sir.
okay ठीक है.
You can, 1 hour is
All right.
the limit which is set for this.
Okay.
Okay.
तो ठीक है, then let's come back and
हाँ तो
then
शायरी तो हो जाए
I'll
सर
start
शायरी
off.
के साथ क्लोज करेंगे ना सर दो शायरी तो कुछ
I don't I don't remember anything. Let me think of something appropriate. Then I'll come back and do it.
I put it on a
Let's
spot,
do
sir.
that.
Okay, no. So abhi still
Okay.
we have got 1 minute, sir. But
There are
thank you
some
and
questions where they say there are a lot of questions about height, weight, and
there is
all those
nothing.
criteria. There is no criteria. There's no
There is no
criteria for
threat.
joining army or the paras. There's no criteria. You just need to have will. You should be a volunteer, and then you should pass the required tests, as with
Correct.
any kind of unit. Yeah.
I tell them
So there's no
if you
criteria.
I tell people, sir, even before joining para and para SF, you have to be part of armed forces. You have to be part of army.
Yeah.
If you are part of army,
Yeah.
that means you have already cleared the physical requirements or eligibility, whether whatever it is, it's only probation that is left. So para and SF is in the later part. So generally, that's why I missed that question. But I still remember what you said, that fortune favors the brave. That leap of faith is, go. Failure is the first step to success. Even if you fail in a first attempt, does not mean go and attempt that fail part. And the bonding, which is in academy, it is lifelong.
It is, yeah.
It is lifelong. And academy is not, each academy has got a tradition. Each con had got a tradition.